International bolting standards call for a hardened washer to be placed under every threaded nut or bolt head in order to protect the flange surfaces from damage or embedment, provide a consistent low-friction turning surface under each nut, and to better distribute bolt load around the joint because of its larger surface area. The new high-torque washer is a unique hardened washer that not only gives all of these advantages, but also becomes the reaction point for the torquing tool right under the nut, eliminates any possible pinch points for the operator's fingers, no searching for an external blocking point, no bending or side loading of the bolt, straight axial load, smooth, consistent, low-friction surface for the nut to turn on, full range of materials options for every application, works with both pneumatic and hydraulic torque tools, and with the addition of a companion friction washer, eliminates the need for a backup wrench to hold the opposite nut. Often, the back nut tends to turn during tightening, requiring the use of a clumsy and dangerous backup wrench, which creates a pinch hazard and may have to be beaten off. To eliminate this problem, simply insert the innovative friction washer under the back nut. Its dual knurled faces keep the nut from turning as soon as load begins to be applied to the bolt. Both it and the new high-torque washer meet all the applicable standards for hardened washers, and both are completely reusable. The key to getting all of the benefits of the new high-torque washer is to use a dual drive and reaction socket, which holds on the washer and turns the nut against it. One way to get all these benefits is to use the patented dual drive offset link powered by a high-torque ICE hydraulic tool. This link allows precision and power to be applied, even in the tightest clearance areas, once again without any external reaction or pinch points. The outer hexagonal piece reacts against the new high-torque washer, while the inner socket tightens the nut. To combine one of these hydraulic wrenches with the offset link, begin by choosing the correct size ratcheting socket for the nut to be tightened and for the size of the square drive in the hydraulic wrench. The links are easily exchanged by removing the two retaining bolts. The direction, whether to tighten or loosen, is determined by the direction of the tightening wrench. The word tighten or loosen is stamped onto the side of the tool and can be read once the square drive of the tool has been inserted into the drive receptacle. Each offset link is marked with a factor, which indicates how to compensate for any gear ratio effects through the link. The desired torque to be applied to the nut is multiplied by this factor to determine the input torque value on the appropriate torque-to-pressure conversion chart for the tool being used. For example, suppose that the desired torque on a given nut is 500 foot-pounds, and the factor on the link is 1.1. Multiply 500 times 1.1, which equals 550. Read down the torque column of the chart to determine the setting. Suppose that the job at hand is to apply 600 foot-pounds of torque to this 1.5-inch bolt and 2 3/8-inch nut using an ICE-1 wrench. See the ICE-1 operation video for a review of how to assemble and adjust the pump and tool. Choosing an offset link with a 3/4 square drive receptacle and a 2 3/8 ratcheting link would be appropriate because 600 foot-pounds is well within the capability of the 3/4-inch drive ICE-1. Assume that the adjustment factor printed on the 2 3/8 ratcheting insert is 1.1. Following the formula engraved on the side plate of the offset link, desired torque times factor equals input torque, we would multiply 600 by 1.1 to get the input torque value of 660 for our torque-to-pressure conversion. Reading down the torque column for the ICE-1, we find that the pressure corresponding to 660 foot-pounds is 5,000 psi. This is the value we will set on the pump. Attach the offset link to the nut. Insert the ICE-1 into the offset link drive receptacle so that the word tighten is visible as you look down on the tool. Begin tightening normally until the wrench stalls at the preset adjusted torque value. Note, most bolts are tightened in a pattern and in gradually increasing increments. Follow your indicated bolting plan, varying the pump pressures according to your desired torque on each pass. To remove the nut, simply turn the ICE-1 over with the drive in the opposite side. Note that the word loosen will now be legible on the side of the ice. Increase the pump pressure to at or near its maximum, giving the wrench its full power. Press and hold the actuator button on the pump until the nut turns and proceed to remove all the nuts. If the nut will not move at 10,000 psi, you will need a larger torque wrench. Remember that the new high-torque washer can always function as if it were a generic hardened washer, and the nut can be tightened or loosened with any manual or powered bolting tool should the need arise, so you are never dependent on specialized tooling to apply or remove it if need be. So there you have it, the new high-torque washer and the ice. Fast, safe, simple, and inexpensive. Why wouldn't you want to use these on every nut you tighten? See your sales consultant or call 1-800-367-4986 to schedule a free demonstration at your location.